Good morning everyone. Today we are going to see another practical in paper 401 and 402. Today's practical is radial immunodiffusion. So this is a type of it's a type of immunodiffusion. Already in the last week you have seen how to do double immunodiffusion. In the case of double immunodiffusion, both antigen and antibody will be loaded in the wells. Both will, when you keep it for incubation, both antigen and antibody will diffuse out of the well, and diffusion happens. Reaction can be seen in the form of a precipitin arc. Or if you remember, there are three patterns of precipitin arc: X-shaped, Y-shaped and V-shaped arc. Pattern of identity, pattern of partial identity and pattern of known identity, which we have discussed in the last week's practical class. So today's one is radial immunodiffusion, wherein only the antigen is going to diffuse from the wells because antibody will be incorporated in the agar. Clear? So you also remember how to prepare the agar. We have to prepare 1% agar. So the 1% agar means 1 gram of agar in 100 ml of distilled water. There is no need of preparing 100 ml. You can prepare 10 ml of it. But the agar should be prepared in a 1x assay buffer. The 1x assay buffer is given along with the kit. You have to use that 1x assay buffer. 10x will be given. You need to dilute to 1x and prepare the assay buffer. And the agar which we are using for radial immunodiffusion, that should be prepared in the buffer. Okay, so in that agar you are going to incorporate the antibody, thereby only antigen will be loaded in the well and antigen will diffuse radially, and after the incubation time period you can see a precipitin ring around the well. So that is the experiment here, radial immunodiffusion. So before starting with the explanation part, I will tell you what all things you need for doing the experiment. You need agarose, okay, for preparing the gel. Preparing the plate you need agarose. The agarose always it should be prepared in the assay buffer, 10x assay buffer, which is given along with the kit. So in our lab we use high media kit. So this is the high media kit we use for the radial immunodiffusion. In the kit itself, all these reagents are given, or all the chemicals or all the materials which are needed for doing the experiment is given along with the kit. So you have to use it accordingly. Follow the instruction which is given in the kit, and you have to perform the experiment. And we are going to load 5 different types of samples in the well. Okay. Now, one more important point to remember is this particular experiment is used to find out the concentration of antigen which is there in the sample. Whereas in the case of double immunodiffusion, that particular experiment is conducted to find out whether any similarities are there between the antigen. That is why after the experiment you get pattern of identity, pattern of partial identity and pattern of known identity, which is used to identify the similarity of epitopes which are there on the antigen. Remember that this particular experiment is used to find out the concentration of antigen which is present in the given antigen sample. You remember how you do the biochemical experiment. Biochemical experiment you will be doing a standard assay, okay, biochemical assay. You follow the protocol, prepare a standard, a series of standard, and the last 2 test tubes will be your sample. Okay, the sample in which from which you are going to identify the concentration. So once after adding all the reagent, when the color is developed, you will take the OD reading in the calorimeter, and after getting the reading you have to plot a graph and find out the concentration of antigen which is present in the given sample. Similarly, in this experiment also 4 standard antigens are given, and you know how much reaction will happen and the diameter of that particular antigen. When the diffusion happens, how much the size of the well that formed, it is already known because it's a standard one. Along with that, whichever antigen you want to identify, or whichever antigen sample you want to find out the concentration, that can be loaded in the other wells. You can use 1 sample or 2 samples at a time to find out the concentration. So in this kit they have given 6 samples, 4 standard and 2 test antigens, test antigen 1 and test antigen 2. So everything is provided here, and you need to prepare the agarose in the glass slide which is provided along with the kit. Okay, this is the glass slide which you will be using. And to make the wells below the glass slide, you need to keep the template. You can see here, this is the template wherein the antigen sample name is labeled A, B, C, D, E and F. So these are the different samples what we are going to load here. Now these are the requirements, and for making the well last class also I told you, to make the well you have to use the gel puncture. So this is the gel puncture. You need to insert this gel puncture into the solidified agar and then prepare the wells. Fine. Now I'll explain you the protocol and I will do the demonstration later. The procedure is, the first and foremost thing which you need for doing this experiment is an agar plate. To prepare the agar plate, you have to prepare 1% of agarose, 10 ml. So that means obviously you have to take 0.1 gram of agarose and dissolve in 10 ml of buffer, which is provided along with the kit. 1x assay buffer. Remember that you are not supposed to prepare in 10x, you have to prepare in 1x assay buffer. Then, and you know that agarose, it will not dissolve in room temperature, you need to heat it. Heat it or boil it completely so that you get a transparent solution. Once after dissolving or boiling it, you can see a transparent solution. Then keep it down from the burner and allow it to cool to 55 degrees centigrade. Once it reaches to 55 degrees centigrade, into that you need to add 80 microliter of the anti-serum. So you have to add 80 microliter of the anti-serum into the molten agarose when the temperature reaches to 55 degree. Remember that when it is boiling temperature, 100 degree, 80 degree, 90 degree, in that temperature we are not supposed to add the antibody. If you add antibody will undergo denaturation. So when it reaches to 55 degrees centigrade, you have to add 80 microliter of the antibody. Mix it well. Once after mixing, you can take the glass plate, the glass slide which we are using. From the center, slowly you have to pour the agarose. So when you put it in the center, it will start slowly, it will distribute evenly on the surface and leave it for 30 minutes of time period. The agar will get solidified there. Clear? So this is the first thing what you are going to do here. Preparation of the plate. For preparing the plate, 10 ml of 1% agarose is required. You have to boil it, cool down to 55 degrees centigrade, then add 80 microliter of the anti-serum. Then once it is solidified, you have to prepare the wells. How will you prepare the wells? For preparing the well, below the glass plate, you need to keep the template. So these are the template. In the template, it is the name is given, and you need to keep the plate on top of this template and make the wells with the help of gel puncture. So this is the gel puncture. You have to insert this gel puncture, tip of the gel puncture into the agar block and then pull it. Pull the syringe so that the agar block which is there, that will come out and wells will be created. Into the well, you can load the sample. So the sample will be loaded. The samples which we are loading is standard antigen. As I told you earlier, 4 standard antigens are given. Standard antigen A, B, C and D. And along with that, 2 more samples are given. Test antigen 1 and test antigen 2. So test antigen 1 and 2, you can load it in the well number E and well F. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F. 6 wells we are making. First 4 wells are for the standard antigen A, B, C, D, and the sample test antigen 1 and 2, you can load it in the well number E and F. Now once after loading the sample, 20 microliter of the sample you need to load without spilling it out properly. Care should be taken while loading the sample, and once after loading, you need to keep it in a humid chamber. So last class also I told you how to prepare a humid chamber. You can take a tray or a petri dish, fill it with filter paper, or you can use cotton, dip it in water, sterile water, squeeze it completely. The cotton or the tissue paper what you use, it should be wet. Into that tray or the glass petri dish, you have to keep this plate, the glass plate where you have loaded the sample. Leave it at 37 degrees centigrade overnight, and during that time, what exactly happens here is where is the antibody present? Antibody is there in the gel. So when you load the antigen in the wells, when you keep it for incubation, what exactly happens is the antigen what you have loaded, that will radially diffuse out of the well. That is why it is known as the radial immunodiffusion. The antigen what you have loaded here, that radially diffuses out of the well. When it reaches to the optimum concentration, reaction happens and finally you can see a precipitin ring around the well. Clear? You can see a precipitin ring around the well. In all the wells you can see the precipitin ring. Depends on the concentration of the antigen, the diameter of the ring varies. Remember that point? Depends on the concentration of the antigen which is there in the given sample, the diameter of the precipitin ring varies. Now once after observing the plate, observe whether the ring is formed in all the wells. Once you have confirmed that there are this precipitin ring around all the wells, you have to take a scale and measure the diameter of the ring. Why you need the diameter of the ring? Because you are going to find out the concentration of antigen which is present in the test antigen 1 and 2. Already you have 4 standard antigens. So you have to plot a graph similar, however you do in the biochemical experiment the same way, similar way you have to plot the graph, and once after plotting the graph for the standard antigen, you have to extrapolate the values of the test antigen, and whatever reading comes here, that is the concentration of the antigen which is present in the test antigen 1 and test antigen 2. Clear? Any doubt in this? So radial immunodiffusion in theory also I taught you, so you should be having an idea about the radial immunodiffusion. In radial immunodiffusion, the antigen what you are loading into the well that will diffuse radially, distribute in the agar. What is there in the agar? Agar has antibody. So antigen and antibody will react together, and finally you can see a precipitin ring around the well. In the case of double immunodiffusion, it is not ring. You can see a precipitin arc. 3 different shaped precipitin arc can be seen, whereas here it will be a precipitin ring around the well. Why the ring is forming? Because the antigen radially diffuses out of the well, react with the antibody which is there in the agar, and finally you can see the formation of precipitin ring. And radial immunodiffusion is used to find out the concentration of the antigen. This is the important point. You can find out the concentration of the test antigen by using standard antigens by doing this radial immunodiffusion. So 10 ml of the agarose you have to prepare, 1% agarose, boil it, cool down to 55, add 80 microliter of antiserum, then pour it into the glass plate, allow it to solidify. Prepare the wells using the template, that is very important, and by making the well you have to be very careful. You have to keep the gel puncture properly into the gel so that you can make a proper well. So if the edges of the well, if it is distorted, you cannot load the sample properly and you are not going to get the result properly. So that you have to remember. Once after making the well, you need to load the sample according to the instruction which is given. Then what is the next step? You have to incubate in the humid chamber. Observe the result, and just observing the result will not give you the values. You have to calculate the diameter. So you have to measure the diameter of the precipitin ring. After measuring the diameter, you need to plot the graph and calculate the concentration of antigen which is there in the given test sample E and F. I will show you how to do the experiment now. So this is the 1% agarose which is prepared in the buffer. Okay, can you all see? And this one is the template. So once the agar is solidified on the glass slide, you have to keep the glass slide on the template which is given in the high media kit. Fine. So keep it properly, and after that you need to use the gel puncture. So this is the gel puncture. As I told you earlier, you have to keep the gel puncture into the agar, solidified agar, and then pull the syringe. So what happens when you pull the syringe? When you pull the syringe, the agar block which is there in the gel puncture, that comes out of the plate. Can you see? The well is formed here. Okay, into that well you have to load the sample. Fine. So this is how you have to prepare the well. Insert the gel puncture and pull the syringe. So when you pull the syringe out, the wells will be formed. Okay, once all the wells are ready, you can use a micropipette and load the sample. So how many samples are there? You have 4 samples. One is sample A, antigen B, antigen C and antigen D, and along with that 2 test antigens are given. Test antigen 1 which can be loaded in E, and test antigen 2 which can be loaded in the last well, that is F. So remember that in the agar what is there? We have incorporated antibodies. So what happens after loading the sample into the well? The sample will start diffusing radially and you can see a precipitin ring around the well. So the next day when you observe the plate, you can see the precipitin ring around the wells. Can you all see the ring which is there around surrounding the well? So this is one of the well, and you can see surrounding the well you can see a ring like structure. Here also it is clearly seen. So surrounding all the wells there are rings. So what you need to do next? You have to take a scale and measure the diameter of the ring. Why are we measuring the diameter? To find out the concentration of antigen which is present in the test antigen 1 and test antigen 2. Okay, I will click your photo and send you the result. Thank you.